Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got a little bit of fun planned. And cheap fun too. Thanks y'all for watching. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing because I am trying to grow this thing a little bit and share it with more people and have a little bit more fun. Today, we're back on the Crown Vic like usual. I know it seems kind of boring to have the same project all the time, but I'm not one of those big YouTube channels. You can tell by my subscriber numbers, which are very small, which I appreciate all of you, obviously, but I don't have 1, 2, 3 million subscribers or anything, that I can't really afford to go out and do all sorts of different projects and have revivals and go out and find barn finds and all these other classic cars and all this other fun stuff. Because I'm just starting out. This is all I got. You gotta bear with me. So today, there's a box of parts. And we're gonna show you, I'm gonna show you how to, let me move my unsponsored, whatever the heck I have, drink. How to get muscle car sound out of a Crown Victoria for under $100. All right, I'm blocking the, oh wait, I'm not doing a good job of it, parts distributor that I bought all these parts from, and you can tell these are cheaply made parts. I bought a whole bunch of, there's 4 exhaust, what do you call these? Reducers, there it is, it's in the name. Okay, I bought like 4 of these exhaust reducers. All right, I bought 4, sorry, I can't remember where I'm going here. That's 3. Yeah, that would be good if I showed all 4. 4 exhaust clamps. So these are 2 1/4 inside diameter to 2-inch inside diameter. Yes, the factory exhaust on a Crown Vic, especially a P71, is only 2 inches. And I bought these. $27. And I'll put the little notation up here, but I call them Faux Masters. Now, why do I call them that? It's because these are, well, let's be fair, communist built, welded, chambered. You can tell, you can see the welding in it right here. It's got baffling welded here and a telltale baffle here and one here, like a Flowmaster, but they're not. They are the communist equivalent. And yes, I know I referenced a Vietnamese food when talking about these, but they're all communists, so they're probably welded with cheap slave labor anyway. And we are going to take these, and these clamps, and more than likely a welder, which I'll show you in a minute, and we're going to put them on this car. Now, as you can see, these reducers are not the right ones, but there's some method to my madness here. A stock muffler on a Crown Vic is about 21 inches long. Just the body of it, just this part. Okay, so overall, we're talking about, it's about, let's see, 19 inches from this inlet to this outlet. Now, what I want to do is take these reducers, I do air quotes a lot, but take these reducers and have to make it long enough that it will actually slide over the pipes that are remaining. Now, obviously, it's going to take a little bit of finagling because you can see the usable spot is about 24 inches because I'm going from the ridge where the 2-inch kind of slides in, but it would probably go even further. I could probably slide this over, but I don't know how far I want to do. So anyway, what I'll do is I'll measure this to be basically within these limits here and here for length, And then if I have to cut it, you know, there's this much room on it, I can cut it down, and then we'll just take a welder and just butt weld them on. I mean, I got these magnets here to do that. So now, since the last time that we worked on this car, I have made a few discoveries and some changes to it, and some minor maintenance that has been needed to be done since I bought this. Now, what I haven't showed you, obviously, is I haven't showed you all the process of doing that, because who cares about a tune-up? Everybody knows, if you know cars, you know, just a basic tune-up. Plugs, filter, change, oil, etc., etc. So what's the point in showing you that? But I did figure out, I think I figured out, famous last words, that the thermostat is probably stuck open, because I run this thing all the time just to, you know, keep it running, and I don't want it sitting. And it never seems to warm up. And anytime I take it on a test drive or something, the temperature gauge just doesn't come up. And if I sit and I let the thing idle, it'll come up. And then I turn the heater on and it actually goes down. So I'm going to change the thermostat out. See if there's even one in it. I bet you somebody even might have taken it out. But I did look at the spark plugs in this thing. And I bought a whole new set of them, because I had no idea what the age was. But I bought a whole new set of them, and I pulled them out, or the old ones out, and they looked brand new. It was crazy. They came out so easy. There's no dust on them. There's not even carbon on them. I mean, I'm talking about, there's not even heat discoloration from use in the strap of the spark plug. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to change them. They look great. I changed the oil, I changed the air filter, I changed this, I didn't change the spark plugs. I soaked the throttle body down with some sea foam, and I might have told you that already. And I didn't touch the spark plugs. I did the thermostat. You might have seen the thermostat in the time lapse, so that I wouldn't have to play music this time. I'll just put my voice over it. But, excuse me. We're going to get to, oh yeah, I bought new tires too. I forgot to mention that. So at least now, when this thing's going to go on the road, it'll be ready. I did check the brakes as well, and the brakes looked pretty good. They looked old, but they don't need to be changed. There's still some meat on it, so that's fine. We'll just run it the way it is. There's no more codes in the engine, and everything seems to be good. So other than that little update, I think it's time we get underneath this thing and start cutting things off. All right, so I'm under here, and it looks like, I don't know if I can or not, it looks like there's some telltale marks of this thing being loose, like I could actually move it, or maybe even take the muffler off, like slip it off, which is kind of hairy, because, yeah, it's a little rusty looking, but it's not that bad. But look at this clamp. I mean, that's broken. So this clamp is coming off on its own. This one, it looks like if I hit it with a hammer hard enough, it'll probably just break off. That's not the real reason why I'm changing these mufflers out. The real reason is, you know, content on the page. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention. Oh, that's interesting. I hope that's supposed to be all the way like that. I had to change the fuel filter. That doesn't look, does that look right at all to anybody else? Because I thought this had to be down further, but I don't know. I'll fire it up and take a look later. But this thing had burst when I fired it up, so I had to change the fuel filter out. And it smelled pretty awful of fuel in this garage, so I definitely had the doors open for a while. But I got that changed, and I don't know, maybe it's supposed to be that far off. It doesn't seem to be moving. I even zip-tied the little tab that holds it together in to make sure it doesn't fall off. Like, yeah. So anyway, we're not going to cut this side. Okay? We're not cutting this side because it looks like I said, you can see witness marks up in here of it actually being, like it vibrates, like it actually moves. I might apply heat with a torch just to break the rust bond on either side. But I was down here measuring to make sure I get a correct length, because I'm not welding under the car, that's for damn sure. I'm just going to be bolting clamps onto it. But I do want to get an idea of how long these have to be. So we're going to cut this side out because that is not clamped. I'm going to try to cut it as flush as possible with the body. and try to eat as little rust as possible. Oh, also, I forgot to mention this. Yeah, I found a bent trailing arm in the rear as well. So I got that on order as well, because I'm not doing an alignment on this car with a bananaed rear trailing arm. This thing's got a Watts link in it. Anyway, this one looks fine. So enough blabber. I'm gonna get back to work. One last thing. The whole idea with this car is to keep it as stock appearing as possible. You know, we're not putting a whole exhaust system on it. We're just gonna leave all the factory pipes in it, and it's gonna look exactly the same, and it's gonna hopefully sound like it's got a nice set of Flowmasters on it, even though they're rip-off ones. But I really hope it sounds good. So again, enough. Let's get to work. A very interesting development. There's water coming out of the damn muffler. And I know it's water because it landed in my nose and mouth. And it's pretty gross. And it's coming out of, like, I did actually knock the clamp off with a hammer. Fun. But I hit it and water is coming out. So I don't know why. It's probably just hot cold cycles. It's condensing water. Yeah, it's definitely water. It's not coolant, because it would have tasted way worse. But how much water is in the exhaust? I mean, they obviously know that this is a problem, because there's holes drilled in it. I'm stuck under the car. Okay, there's holes drilled in it just for this purpose. And every time I start the car up, there's always water trailing behind it. So it must be a thing. It must be a hot cold cycle thing. Sorry, I'm not even looking at what I'm doing here. But yeah, I'm going to continue getting rust in my eyes and hammering off clamps. Again, I'm sorry to keep harping on the water thing in the mufflers, but I'm hammering it and it's spraying water out of the flange area, and it's, you know what, it's actually loose. Like, I might be able to just get this thing off. Huh. That would be nice if I could just pull those mufflers straight off and just slide new ones on instead of having to hack stuff. But I've never, ever encountered this. I've never hit a muffler or exhaust pipe and had actual water come spraying out of it. I just wanted to share that because I figured it was kind of weird. Status report after probably about a half hour of swearing, only a little bit of cutting. That took the least amount of time. Unbolting, yeah, see the water. Unbolting these mounts, because you can't get them out because they're locked in there forever. I've got two mufflers, one there, one here. I had to get a little bit creative to try to get them to slip off. So what I did was I just cut a slit up the thing, because, you know, factory uses those C-clamps and they distend the metal like that, and they put a ridge in it, and so it's going to put a ridge on the inside, so it's going to be like a lip. So I cut this relief and it just kind of spread itself out as it started to slide off as I was hammering the hell out of it. And I only got about, I don't know, 2 gallons of water on the floor from each muffler. So I figured out that I got to cut, like, this is like, I need at least 25 inches of overall length. So I got to cut like 1.5 inches out of these extensions, because obviously if I'd gotten the right ones, I could probably just slip them on and hope for the best. But since I didn't get the right ones, and I don't need that much length after all, I guess I'll cut 1.5 inches out of each one and then just slide on the remainder and hope for the best. And then I'll just clamp these on and give it a shot. All right, I've got the ends cut. and I got them kind of magneted in place. I got my welder running. Yeah, I don't care. It's a Harbor Freight Chicago electric $170 freaking welder. I don't care. It works just fine. I'm going to tack these on, probably check them to fit, and then I'm going to weld them all the way around to secure them in place. However, my problem is this. I have almost 0 argon left. So I think this might get kind of ugly because I do have, yeah, this could get ugly real quick. See, my problem is it's a Friday. All the welding shops are closed. All the air places are all closed. So I can't get anything until next Monday. So I want this project done, and if I gotta weld it with crap welding, then I'm gonna weld it with crap welding. I don't care. I'll figure it out. So anyway, if you're doing a project like this and you're kind of like lost a little bit and you don't know what to do, just do something. You know, if you make a mistake, at least you'll learn from it. Don't be afraid to just jump into something that you want to do with both feet and figure it out from there. That's basically what I do with everything. If I don't know what I'm doing, I will by the end of it. So just jump right in. Here we go, test fit. Never mind the welds, it looks like crap. But we got test fit. We got this pipe level, straight to the back. We got this one in. Sorry, I'm breathing all over the camera, but it's cold, see? That one's level, straight to the back. I gotta add some clamps. I also probably have to put the hanger mount back on here because then it'll strengthen this up a little bit. You can see it's a little bit bouncy. We don't want that. We want it to be strong. So I think what I'm going to do is we will take this old muffler with the hanger that, you know, the rubber hanger just kind of bolts into the chassis. And what we'll do is we'll just cut these welds off and we'll have us a nice piece that we can just kind of clean up, take under the car, bolt back in, put it somewhere on the muffler, and just run the welder underneath and just weld it on with it hanging up in the car. So I'll clamp it first on the ends inside the car, then I'll cut these off, and then I'll put these on the other mufflers underneath and weld them on. So there it is. Ugly welds, yeah. Cheap clamps, yeah. Cheap mufflers, yeah. Cheap reducers, yeah. But it's on. And now I think we got to test it. That's a lot of water. Oh, why does it have so much water? Again, I'm leaving it running just so it's able to warm up. I don't like, you know, hot cold cycles and all that water coming out of the exhaust, because this thing still has both the catalytic converters still on it, so it's emissions legal. And you know what, it's a little louder, but it's not obnoxiously loud, which I kind of like. You know, I've had, let's be fair, I'm in my late 30s. Okay, I am actually an adult. I have to understand that. I kind of like it. You know, you rev it up, it's not overbearingly loud. It's not, you know, in your face, ridiculously loud. But it's a sportier loud. You know, it's kind of like the guy with a stock Mustang who just sticks some, you know, performance exhaust on it. And yes, I understand, okay? Every single person in a forum somewhere who says, oh, you're not going to gain any power by putting those on. There's not going to be any performance advantage. Yeah, I get it, okay? I get it, you dumbass. That's not the point here, okay? The point
was to make it sound better. That's the whole reason why people put mufflers on their cars. It's to sound better. If they wanted performance, they'd take them off. Mufflers are a restriction. You don't want a restriction in the exhaust. Anyway, enough ranting. So don't be that dumbass on a forum that says, mufflers don't give you power. No crap, okay? I get that. But I like them. It's surprisingly quiet, but also has that little sporty tone. It's like the mufflers you would get as a factory option on something that has a little bit of horsepower. You know, you buy insert muscle car here, and you get the little factory performance exhaust option. That's kind of what it sounds like, except it's got a little bit of throat to it, so it's not bad. Hopefully it doesn't drone too bad on the highway or anything. But thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. I hope you got a little bit of info out of this. Again, little sportier sounding exhaust for under $100. How can you go wrong? I mean, this should make it a little bit more fun to drive, and hopefully it won't be too annoying because, again, I'm supposed to be an adult. I'm not supposed to have loud cars, but yeah, if you're that kind of person, you're no fun. So anyway, subscribe if you can. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see you next time.